All right, guys, so who remembers from last year when we learned about like separating circles and squares, rectangles, different types of shapes into equal parts? And you referred to those parts as like half of the circle or a quarter of the square, and the parts had to be equal when you divided them up. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay, so that was the start of fractions. They kind of got you started. Today we're going to learn a little bit more about those. So let's look over here. I drew out two rectangles because that's what you guys are familiar with. So let's start with that and try to figure out where we are. So what do you see up here? Do you see how many parts there are?
There's 4.
Okay, and we have one shaded, right? And then this rectangle, how many parts do we have?
8.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think these two are equal, even?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, why? Susie, tell me why.
Well, because in the top one you have 4, and then in the bottom one it's double. And since there's only 1 up there and 2 are shaded down there, it should be equal.
Okay, perfect. All right, good. So that is an example of equivalent fractions. Just means that they're the same as each other or equal to each other. So now we're going to draw out what we just talked about in number form. So up here, we said that we have 4 parts total, right? Okay, and fractions, when you are talking about a fraction, the total or the whole goes on the bottom. And then, however many pieces you're talking about, so we only have one shaded piece, that goes on top. And then, in the bottom one, how many pieces did we say we had total?
2, but wait, 4.
8.
How many pieces in the total rectangle? We had 2 shaded, right, but we had 8 total. So, and because they're the same as each other, or equal to, I put the equal sign there. And that's how we know fractions are equivalent. And another trick is when you need to figure out if 2 fractions are equal, all you have to do is think of, okay, what can I multiply the bottom number to get the other bottom number? And those are called denominators. Do you guys remember that from last year?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. So what do you multiply 4 by to get to 8?
2.
Okay? And whatever we do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. And then you just check if that is equal to. So is 1 times 2, 2?
Yes.
Okay, then we do have an equivalent fraction. Okay? Not that hard. Okay, so now we're going to look at the worksheet I gave you, the one with the fractions on it. Set aside the graph paper, we're going to save that for later. We're going to do something with these shoulder partners later. Okay? Let's all look at number 1 together. We'll do number 1 together, and then I'll let you guys do the rest on your own, okay? All right, number 1. Who wants to help me with that? Lula? All right, come on up to the board. Okay, so for number 1, we're looking for fractions that are equivalent to 1/2. So why don't you write 1/2 up there? Just write 1/2, like right up here. And then we're going to do it the mathematical way instead of drawing our shapes, because we're trying to get away from the shapes. We want to be able to tell just by looking at them, right? So the first one we have is 2/3. Why don't you draw equals 2/3, because we're going to check it to see if they're equal. All right, so right away, what's our first step? We have to find common denominators. Okay, good. So is there anything you can do to 2 to get to 3 evenly?
No.
No. Okay. So right off the bat, we kind of know that this one isn't going to work out because 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. So we skip right over 3. So that doesn't work. So we're going to draw a big fat X right through that one and move on to the next one. 1/2 is equal to, and we've got 3/4. Okay? What do you do to 2 to get to 4?
Multiply by 2.
Okay, why don't you write that up there? Just show your work. And this is what you're all gonna be doing for this, okay? I want you to show your work on every problem. All right, good. And you wrote it up top, because whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 2 times 2 is 4, we know that. 1 times 2, does that equal 3? No. Okay, so we know again that that is not an equivalent fraction. How about 1/2 equals 3/6? Why don't you go ahead and try that one? If she needs help, we'll give her the help. But it looks like she's got it. All right, so 2 times 3, does that equal 6?
Yes.
Okay, good. And 1 times 3, does that equal 3?
Yes.
Perfect. So we know that 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2. So you guys can circle 3/6 in number 1. Okay? All right. How about 1/2 is equal to 1/4? What about that one? 2 times what is 4?
2.
Okay. And we have to do the same to the top. Is 1 times 2 1? No. So that's not equal. All right, and then the last one. 1/2 is equal to 4/7. And again, 2 times, do we have anything that equals 7? No? Okay, so you can't do that. Automatically means we can't make it equivalent. Okay? Why don't you guys, you can go sit down. Why don't you guys do 2 through 5 on your own? And then we'll regroup and I'll collect the sheets, okay? All right, go ahead, get started. Okay, is everyone good with the worksheet? Did you all finish it? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure your names are on it. I'm gonna come around and collect that now, okay? All right, is everyone done? Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, now let's look at the graph paper you guys got, okay? We're gonna be working with our shoulder partners now, and so one partner is gonna start off by drawing a picture and writing out what fraction that picture represents. So if you draw 1/4, draw a picture, it can be a square, a circle, a rectangle, anything that represents 1/4, and write the fraction. Then your partner is gonna have to create an equivalent fraction to the one you gave them. Okay, so if Lula picks 1/4, Avery's gonna have to draw out something like 2/8. But don't do that because I gave that as an example. Make up your own, okay? All right, why don't you guys get started with that? How about each of you has to create one fraction for now. I'll go around and check on you guys and just keep going until you guys understand it, okay? I'll be around to check on things. All right, go ahead and get started. All right, so how did we do with that? Did you think it was pretty easy, pretty hard? Where were you? Give me a thumbs up if you thought it was good. A middle if you had trouble, or, well, all right, no thumbs down, good. I like it. Okay, so those sheets are yours to keep. Hold on to them. If you ever have trouble, you can look back at them. That's a reference for you guys. All right, so to sum it up, so what was one thing you guys learned today? How about Susie? What's one thing you learned?
I learned how to tell if fractions are equivalent by looking at them.
Okay, good, yeah, like on the sheet we did. Okay. Avery, what's one thing you learned?
I learned how to draw equivalent fractions.
Okay, what we did up here, perfect. And Lula, what's one thing you did today?
I learned how to create equivalent fractions.
Okay, so drawing and with numbers. Cool, awesome. Then I would say we hit pretty much all of our goals, right? We now know what equivalent fractions are. We know how to look at a set of fractions and tell if they're equivalent or not. And we now know how to create our equivalent fractions, drawing and or writing them out with numbers. Excellent. All right. You guys put your stuff away and get ready for lunch.